Have you ever experienced someone suddenly walking out of your life? Maybe it was a close friend who stopped calling, a business partner who broke ties, or even a family member who became distant. When it happens, it hurts. It feels like rejection. It feels like loss. But what if I told you that sometimes, when God removes people from your life, it's not a punishment, it's preparation. The pain of separation. Let's be honest. Losing people hurts. It doesn't matter if they left on their own, or if circumstances pulled you apart. The pain is real. You might find yourself asking questions like, what did I do wrong? Why did they leave? Could I have done something differently? These questions are natural. They're part of being human. But here's what you need to understand. Not every departure is about something you did wrong. Sometimes people leave because their season in your life is complete. And sometimes God orchestrates these exits because He's preparing you for something greater than you can imagine. Think about it like this. Imagine you're climbing a mountain. At the base, you have a large group of friends excited to make the journey with you. As you start climbing higher, you notice some people getting tired. Some stop to rest. Others decide the climb isn't for them and turn back. It's not that they're bad people. They're just not equipped for the altitude you're heading toward. The same thing happens in life. God removes people because where He's taking you requires a different level of commitment, vision, and purpose. Not everyone can go where you're going, and that's okay. Understanding divine removal. When God removes someone from your life, He does it with purpose. Nothing is random in the hands of a loving Creator. He sees what you cannot see. He knows the future while you're still figuring out today. And in His infinite wisdom, He knows exactly who needs to be in your life for your next season, and who needs to exit. Divine removal can happen in different ways. Sometimes it's sudden. A friendship ends abruptly, where someone you trusted betrays you. Other times it's gradual. You slowly drift apart from people who once felt essential to your life. Either way, the removal is intentional. Here's a truth that might be hard to swallow. Some people were only meant to be in your life for a chapter, not the whole book. They served their purpose. They taught you lessons. They helped you grow during a specific season. But now, that season has ended, and God is turning the page to the next chapter of your story. The protection factor. One of the most important reasons God removes people is for your protection. He can see things about people that you cannot. He knows their true intentions. He understands how they might hinder your progress or even harm you down the road. Think about all the times you wanted something desperately. A relationship, a partnership, an opportunity, and God said no by closing that door. You were devastated at the time, but months or years later, you looked back and realized that if you had gotten what you wanted, it would have destroyed you. God removes people to protect you from relationships that would drain your energy and purpose. Some people are emotional vampires. They take and take, but never give back. They consume your time, your peace, and your focus. God removes them so you can invest your energy into what truly matters. Partnerships that would limit your potential. You might be dreaming big, but some people in your circle are thinking small. They're comfortable with mediocrity, while God is calling you to excellence. He removes them so their limited vision doesn't cap your possibilities. Influences that would corrupt your character. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. The people around you shape your thoughts, decisions, and actions. God removes negative influences before they lead you down the wrong path. Distractions that would delay your destiny. Sometimes people aren't bad. They're just not part of God's plan for your life. They're good people, but they're not your people for this season. God removes them so you can focus on what He's called you to do. The elevation process. Now, let's talk about the exciting part, the elevation. When God removes people, it's because He's about to promote you. He's about to take you higher. He's about to open doors that require a different version of you, a stronger, wiser, more focused version. Elevation doesn't just mean getting more money or a better job, although it can include those things. Elevation means spiritual growth. You're moving into a deeper relationship with God. You're developing faith that doesn't need crowds to cheer you on. You're learning to hear His voice more clearly because the noise around you has decreased. Mental clarity. With fewer distractions and toxic relationships, your mind becomes clearer. You can think bigger thoughts. You can plan with more wisdom. You can make decisions aligned with your true purpose. Emotional maturity. The pain of loss teaches you resilience. You learn that your worth isn't tied to who stays or leaves. You develop the emotional strength needed for the greater responsibilities coming your way. Purpose alignment. Sometimes we get so caught up in pleasing people that we lose sight of our purpose. When God removes people, He's realigning you with your calling. He's stripping away everything that doesn't serve your destiny. Biblical examples. The Bible is full of examples of people who experienced divine removal before elevation. Let's look at a few. Joseph. His brothers sold him into slavery. Talk about a painful removal. But that removal positioned Joseph to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. The same brothers who rejected him later bowed before him, just as God had shown Joseph in his dreams. What looked like betrayal was actually the path to his destiny. Moses. He had to leave everything familiar, the palace, his adopted family, his position in Egypt, and spend 40 years in the wilderness. That removal seemed like a demotion at first, but God was preparing him to lead an entire nation out of slavery. The wilderness wasn't punishment, it was preparation. David. King Saul chased David like a fugitive. David lost his position in the palace. His best friend Jonathan had to stay behind, and he had to run for his life. But during those years of running, God was developing David's character, faith, and leadership abilities. When Saul was finally removed from the throne, David was ready to step into kingship. Jesus. Even Jesus experienced divine removal. When he began his ministry, many of the large crowds that once followed him eventually left. In John 6, after a hard teaching, many disciples walked away. Jesus asked the 12, "Do you want to leave too?" But Peter understood. "Lord, to whom shall we go? You have the words of eternal life." Jesus was elevated to fulfill his purpose with a committed few rather than a curious many. These examples show us a pattern. Removal precedes elevation. The stripping away of people and positions is often preparation for promotion. Signs you're being prepared for elevation. How do you know if God is removing people to elevate you? Here are some signs. You're outgrowing conversations. Topics that used to excite you now feel empty. You're hungry for deeper discussions, greater vision, and purposeful connections. The small talk that once filled your time now feels like a waste of precious moments. You value peace over popularity. You'd rather have a quiet evening alone than be around people who drain you. You've stopped trying to fit in where you no longer belong. Peace has become more valuable than being liked by everyone. You're becoming more selective. You're protective of your time, energy, and space. You're no longer saying yes to every invitation or opportunity. You're learning that every good thing isn't God's thing for you. You feel isolated, but not lonely. There's a difference. Isolation can feel uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to feel lonely when you understand it's temporary and purposeful. You're learning to be content in seasons of solitude because you know God is with you. New opportunities are appearing. As old connections fall away, new doors begin to open. You're meeting people who operate at a different level. Opportunities that seemed impossible before are suddenly within reach. How to navigate the removal season. If you're currently in a season where God is removing people, here's how to navigate it with grace and faith. Don't chase what's leaving. When someone exits your life, let them go. Don't beg them to stay. Don't lower your standards to keep them around. Trust that their departure is divinely orchestrated. What's meant for you will never pass you by, and what passes you by was never meant for you. Grieve, but don't get stuck. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to miss people. Give yourself permission to grieve the loss, but don't build a monument at that place of pain. Grieve, learn the lessons, and then move forward. Focus on your growth. Use this season to develop yourself. Read books, learn new skills, deepen your prayer life, work on your goals. This isn't the time to be idle. It's the time to prepare for what's coming. Trust God's timing. Just because people are leaving doesn't mean you'll be alone forever. God is removing certain people to make room for the right people. He's rearranging your life for your benefit. Trust that He knows what He's doing. Protect your heart from bitterness. When people leave, especially if they hurt you on the way out, it's easy to become bitter, but bitterness will poison your future. Forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve the freedom that comes with forgiveness. Stay faithful. Keep doing what God has called you to do. Keep showing up. Keep serving. Keep growing. Your faithfulness in the removal season determines how you'll steward the blessings in the elevation season. The right people are coming. Here's what you need to know. When God removes people, He always sends replacements who are better aligned with your purpose. The right people are coming. People who will celebrate you, not compete with you. People who will add to your vision, not subtract from it. People who will push you toward your destiny, not pull you away from it. These new connections will feel different. They won't require you to dim your light. They won't make you question your worth. They won't drain your energy. Instead, they'll inspire you, challenge you in healthy ways, and help you become the person God created you to be. But here's the key. You had to let go of the wrong people to make room for the right ones. Your life only has so much space. If you keep holding on to relationships that have expired, you won't have room for the relationships that are meant to bless you. Your elevation is coming. If you're reading this and you've experienced painful removals in your life, I want you to know something. Your elevation is coming. The pain you're feeling right now is not the end of your story. It's the transition into your greatest chapter. God hasn't forgotten about you. He hasn't abandoned you. Every person who walked away, every door that closed, every disappointment you faced, God is using it all to position you for something greater. Your elevation might not look like what you expected. It might come in a different package or at a different time, but it's coming. And when it arrives, you'll understand why certain people couldn't come with you. You'll see that their departure wasn't a setback. It was a setup for your comeback. Final thoughts. When God removes people from your life, It's one of the greatest acts of love he can perform. He loves you too much to let you stay surrounded by people who will limit, hurt, or distract you from your purpose. He's making room for the new. He's preparing you for the next level. So if you're in a season of removal right now, hold on, stay faithful, keep trusting. Your elevation is closer than you think. The people who are meant to be in your life for this next season are on their way. And when you look back, you'll see that what felt like loss was actually God's way of making room for gain. God is removing people because He's about to elevate you. Receive it, believe it, get ready for it. Your best days are not behind you. They're ahead of you. If this message resonated with you, please take a moment to follow our channel for more encouraging content that will strengthen your faith and help you navigate life's challenges. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. Your share could be exactly what someone in your life needs to keep pushing forward. Remember, your support helps us reach more people with messages of hope, faith, and purpose. God bless you.